found out that he had the nickname Big Shot back
Yeah,
in the day.
yeah.
How cool is that?
That's sweet, man. That's sweet. That like, a guy like him who I'm actually coaching now, but not even that, like, just to know that like his uncle, loved my game enough to like refer to his nephew as that. That's it's humbling for real. It really is. Not only myself, but Big Shot Bob too. Who I love and admire. Big Shot. I hate him a little bit for that shot he hit on us though, but cost me a second championship, man.
But is Portland big enough for two big shots?
It's only one Big Shot out here. It's Big Shot Noah. He got it. He got it. I ain't making no more big shots, dog. That I can agree. That I can. I promise you that. I ain't making no more big shots.
He said when he went to Toronto, he visited his team in Toronto.
Yeah.
He said that was really impactful for him. Do you remember that?
I do. So I went there a few years ago. I was asked to come and speak to the team. They was kind of on the hump, trying to get over the hump, and it was cool. I just sat in the theater with them for like an hour or so, and I just kind of talked to them about just some of the things that kind of our teams went through in Detroit. We were really close, managing everybody's egos and expectations, and not sweating a lot of small things. And they asked me a lot of questions. About everything: life, business stuff, finances, marriage. It was everything. So it was really actually a really good time.
Was that set up like through Messiah or through Dwayne? Or?
No, I forgot the name of the gentleman who's in charge of. I forgot which department it was. I forgot his name, but
PR.
yeah,
What
it's
is
PR guy.
What is the key to managing egos, if you can tell us?
Like I always say, with y'all, one, you got to kind of get to know people and what they think and how they feel. And I just believe in honesty, I just believe in being honest, and kind of speaking facts. Like, for instance, we watch film. I'm not like attacking a guy for no reason, or I'm just speaking what we see and where we want to go. And so, I think I have a pretty decent way of like being honest without leaving bruises. And I can't take credit for that. That's kind of a gift, I guess, maybe that I have, and I don't take advantage of it, but I use it.
He said that what you said, that was probably the biggest reason they won the championship that year.
I can't take credit for that. I can't take credit for that. But they had some great players. That's why they won the championship, and their staff was really good. But I do feel like, because I've heard from a lot of those guys, like Freddie and Fleet, Serge, like Mark. I heard from a lot of those guys at different points of how important that time that we spent was, and I didn't know that, but I'm glad though. I'm glad that I can have that kind of impact.
Chauncey, how do you feel about the three-guard look? It's kind of a little unconventional. Starts three guards.
Yeah, it's a little different than most teams, obviously. But for me, the league is just not very big anymore. So I think as long as all three of those guards are actually real weapons, all can shoot, all can get to the basket, you can't leave anywhere. The biggest key for me, Jason, is those guys just got to be competitive on the other end. Because everybody's gonna try to post them up, go after them. They don't have to be lockdown guys, but they have to be competitive and be good team defenders. And then it's kind of on us to mix and match and change lineups, change coverages and things, and we just do the best that we can. But I think it's a weapon that we have actually.
In regards to that, Norm's kind of sacrificing in a way because he's playing a little out of position, and he will have more people posting him up. So is that kind of an agreement with you guys that, hey, I'll get you back at some two, I'll get you some action at two?
Yeah, Norman's going to play a lot of two for us this year. I think he has a little more of an advantage. When he's playing the two, especially if he's going to be playing the two against backup twos at times, he should have a clear advantage there. But Norman's just competitive, man. He's just competitive and he wants to play. You know, you look around the league and there's just so many times, and this kind of blew me away last year in coaching. There was so many times you look around on the floor and there were like 4 guys on the team that were like 6'4", 6'5", and under that were on the floor playing meaningful minutes, and then a big guy. And so, you know, we start that way, obviously with our 1, 2, and 3. But man, I'm just telling you, the league is just, it's not that big anymore. I think you can be okay. You know, a lot of guys don't post up. Everybody runs to the threes. Now you get in the playoff series, it can get difficult. You know, you have to kind of change up. You're fronting, you're doubling. You know, they get you in rotations. That's when it can, you know, can be tough at times. But we'll see. Let's get there.
When you were in Vegas with Neil, kind of recruiting Norm to come back, did you have like an overarching message or like an idea that you really wanted to get across to him about yourself or the way you were going to approach the job?
Well, I just wanted to, I wanted to share what I believed, you know, how we were going to play, you know, defensively, being more aggressive. He's coming from Toronto. I mean, they have some really, really, really good kind of cutting edge concepts and principles defensively. They switched a ton, and he really liked that, you know. So you know, we talked a lot about defense and the kind of culture that I wanted to bring. We wanted to bring as a staff, and he agreed with a lot of things that we wanted to do. It's kind of how he wants to play. He's, like I said, he's really competitive, so he wants to take some of those tough matchups and things like that. I mean, and as a coach, that's what you want. You want guys to be able to do that or to want to do that. And then offensively, you know, I just, you know, wanted him to know that he's just not going to be sitting there standing the whole time. Like, we're going to actually use him. He's a really good downhill driver, especially in particular going right. He's a knockdown shooter. So when we create an environment where we're moving that basketball, you know, and that ball is hopping, everybody's going to get shots, you know. And I think that's one of the things that we want to do here that I feel like they weren't great at, you know, prior to now. Great offense, historical offense, but you just have to kind of lean on those 2 guys to be special, and they can be. But man, we got some good shooting around. We got playmakers. We got athleticism. I want to be able to use those things.
Hey, Coach, I know it's only been a couple of days, but have any of the 4 non-roster guys stood out to you last couple of days?
Man, you know, I think they've all been pretty good. CT, I think they've all been pretty good. I thought Dennis had a good day today. You know, he stayed in the paint. He did a good job putting pressure on the rim today. Marquise and Pat, I thought they all actually played pretty well. Quinn, he's a little bit at a disadvantage only because he came in later, so he's still kind of learning the plays. And those other guys was here a week or so before him, so they got a little different familiarity with plays. But Quinn is Quinn, you know. He's just a great guy to have. So, man, they all doing a good job. I'm proud of them.
How do you evaluate that 14th spot, Chauncey? Is it purely in practice? Will they get some time in the preseason games?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of it will be in practice, but yeah, they're gonna play in the preseason. I'm sure, particularly probably these first 2 games. You know, you want to play a lot of people, and for sure the guys that are really kind of looking for a roster spot, you want to give them an opportunity to try to play and earn, you know, the trust of the staff and other teammates. So I just kind of see that, you know, playing out in those situations. And then you also got to, you know, you're talking about a 14th player. If all goes right, that guy's probably not going to play very often. You know, you're talking about guys going to be sitting for 2 or 3 weeks at a time maybe, unless somebody tweaks an ankle. So that guy's spirit has to be right. You know, he has to understand that. He has to know, you know, you got to be the guy up on the bench, getting everybody ready. You know, you got to be that guy. And so that goes into it too when you're evaluating that situation.
You said Quinn is Quinn. What do you like about him?
Well, Quinn has always been he's been a 3rd guard his whole career. You know, he's champion on championship teams. He's a guy that you always see, whether they're playing bad or they're playing good. He's over there with a ton of positive energy. When he gets his chance to play, he can knock down shots. Um, he has, you know, that's what he's been able to do. That's who he's been the entire time, and that's why he's always so attractive to teams that are looking to fill that area of the roster.
Chauncey, are you still envisioning CJ as the primary backup point guard?
No, I want CJ and Ant to be playing some backup point guard. I think Ant, you know, a lot of my conversations with him is about that. You know, him being able to play a lot of backup, you know, point guard minutes, running the show. You know, as you guys know, Ant, you know, I've been knowing him longer than I have, but you know, he's really quiet. You know, he's really quiet. And, as a point guard, and I'm even talked to Dame about this too. Like, you got to be more vocal. You know, you got to be able to use your voice. You got to step outside of yourself sometimes. And so I think Ant is primed and gonna have a really good year, man. Because we could use him. I mean, he can score all three levels. I've been on him, trying to make him a better playmaker. You know, and I just don't like guys like him who are kind of trying to find their way. I don't want him and Nas, I don't want those guys to think that, you know, scoring baskets is the only way they're going to stay on the floor. Because that ends up making you shoot a lot of bad shots, take a lot of chances. It's not going to be that keep you on the floor. I love that, you know, being able to shoot and stuff, but, you know, they got to be some of the hardest playing dudes on the floor. You know, they got to do some of those type of things, and I think we got a pretty good understanding.
That's going to be a change for CJ too, though, because that was, I mean, for 4 or 5 years, he's been that guy who comes in and runs it after the game.
Well, yeah, it will be. It will be a change for CJ, and you know, my goal is, you know, these guys, of course, they're going to play the most minutes on the team because they're the best players. But I want the minutes to be efficient. You know, I don't want to have to play guys when they're tired. You shouldn't have to. When you're deep, you don't have to play guys when they're tired. So yeah, that will be. It'll be a little bit of an adjustment, but the way that we run a lot of things, though, Jason, ones and twos are pretty much the same. So, say Ant and and CJ are in there together. You don't know who's gonna bring it up. You know, whoever kind of get it and go, just hoop, play. You know, so it's really not a designation like that. You know, we got playmakers out there.
Dame and CJ have historically been at the top of minutes played in the league. You still see them getting 36, 38? I think they're around 36.
I think if we're doing it, if we're playing well and everybody's playing well, I don't want to see them playing 38 minutes. I don't. I mean, it's a long season. You know, God forbid anybody like wears down. You know, prior years maybe they needed to do that. I'm not sure, but we got some good players to be able to come off the bench and help those guys out.